Sup? We just got a whole bunch of Elena footage, a giant flood of gameplay footage for her. And now we get to see how the damage looks, hopefully more info on her level 2. But it's still mostly Elena versus Elena footage. So we can't, see like balance changes on the characters, unfortunately. But something slipped through the cracks and there was a huge discovery right away. And we're going to go over that right now because it's a big one. So I got like the perfect timestamp for this. Switch to it. There's a lot to talk about with this one. This one's huge, guys. And it involves throw loops. Here we go. So check this out. Did you guys see that? Did you guys notice that? Watch it again. Look at the meter. Okay, so check the meter on the top left here on this drive meter and check the super meter on the bottom left. Here it comes. Here it comes. Look up here. Look down here. Get ready. Giant system change. So now Capcom has changed it. So this will be for season 3. When you tech a throw now, you are rewarded 1 bar of drive meter and super meter on top of that. I was like, man, did we always get super meter when we tech the throw? But no, I went and checked it for Street Fighter 6. So look at the super meter at the bottom. No one gains any bar. And then you can look at the drive meter at the top of the screen. No one gains any drive meter. So that's how the game is like right now. So this change is huge. Throw loops might be remaining in the game. No! Capcom's still trying to like ease their way around it. Still trying to figure out a way without removing throw loops. But I mean, obviously I don't know for sure. Looks like what Capcom is trying to do is they're trying to make pressing throw, teching throws much more rewarding. And yes, it is completely lopsided right now. That's why you're seeing players getting thrown a billion times in a row, because it is the safest option you can possibly do, is just eating a throw, because the damage is not too high when you get thrown. But of course it keeps looping, because right now in the game, if you press throw and you guess wrong and you get shimmied, you're just gonna eat a full punish counter combo and lose like 50% of your health. And if they have level 3, then it's just completely over. It's completely lopsided. And if you happen to tech the throw, it's like, they did improve it in Street Fighter 6 where your characters fly backwards and you're supposed to go to neutral, but in the corner, it's just, it's not far enough. You're still stuck in the corner. You're still in a bad spot. So it's really, really lopsided right now. As cool as I think the punish counter system is, it's just so risky to press throw. There's so many ways to beat it. But now gaining the meter for it is actually pretty sick. This will be really crazy for meter magic, because drive meter is everything, guys. Like, when you're stuck in the corner in Street Fighter 6, you have like a time limit. You know what I mean? Like, the opponent is pressuring you and you're slowly just losing your bar in the corner. Some characters are so good at it, like Akuma, for example, is just chipping you away. Even Zangief, like, everyone is just mauling you in the corner. So you're pretty much, your incentive is they want you to use parry, the main way to get your meter back. But then, once again, throw loops are so punishing, right? The throw techs being super risky as well and not as rewarding. This is gonna hopefully tip the scales, because in Street Fighter 6, man, it's like, this is like the first time, bro, where when you're blocking, you're like being punished for it in Street Fighter 6. That's like really different from a lot of Street Fighter games. And so outside of parry, Capcom is giving you more ways to replenish your meter. I think that's definitely a good thing. You're in the corner in the first place. You're already in a bad situation. There's so many things to be afraid about. So taking the risk and pressing the throw button and teching the throw should be rewarded more. So I am happy about that part of it. There's another thing to consider too, is that when a lot of times players are eating throws mid-screen too, it's not just in the corner. Most of the time, a character with a low forward drive rush cancel like this, you'll see a lot of times like Ken, Akuma, whatever, right? They'll go like this. They'll go drive rush, crouching jab, and then they'll throw the opponent. And a lot of times it's risky to press throw here too, because, you can go like this, you can backdash and bait the throw, or you can neutral jump with certain characters and yada yada, right? So a lot of times you're seeing pros getting thrown here as well. They'll be like this, and they'll get tossed mid-screen, and then they'll gain a lot of momentum, right? Because after that throw, then the pressure begins and they'll turn green and start going after them. But now, if you look at it from a meter management perspective, the person on offense is spending 3 bars, and now if the defender techs the throw, they're going to be essentially up 4 bars on them. The person on offense spent 3. and now the defender gains 1, right? If you think about that, that's going to change a lot of the momentum. Now, the player who's abusing drive rush is going to notice that the person on defense is still has a lot of meter, a ton of meter. Because the way it is now, it's like, it's worth it to spend that 3 because you get that momentum and you're chipping away their meter from your attacks. You'll notice a lot of times that the meters are even because the person on defense is so scared, right? So scared of the shimmy. So yeah, it does change neutral too. It changes the whole game. It's a pretty big change. Like the whole point is like Capcom wants to encourage you guys to tech throws. They don't want you guys to just, you know, take the throw. Tech throws still happen in pro matches a lot. It's just that like you're just taking a risk, right? You'll mostly see it at the end of the match where they have no choice, they're gonna die. And it's also especially dangerous on the 3rd round, because on the 3rd round, everyone has level 3, and then the shimmy is guaranteed 50% health or more. You know, it could be the end of the match for teching a throw, you know what I'm saying? Currently no reward for teching compared to backdash or reversal. I mean, the reward for teching throw is that your characters are pushed way further back. Like this is like almost 3 times further than other Street Fighter games. It's just that like the corner is so dangerous, and because you have drive rush, you know, it's not enough. It can be enough where like, you know, you tech a throw and then the person on defense can drive rush in, right? They have that space to drive rush in. But you got to remember, they're taking chip damage in the corner, they're losing bar, and if they choose to drive rush in, they're spending another bar to get out. So like usually if you're in the corner, you have half your meter in the first place because you're taking damage, right? So spending resources to get out might not be an option. You could be in burnout any second. And if you try to drive rush cancel to get out, you're almost guaranteed to be in burnout. So having that tech throw, now all of a sudden you have that space and you have the extra meter. Guaranteed drive rush, right? Because drive rush takes 1 bar. Guaranteed drive rush to get out. So it really helps the person on defense. You're still in a bad situation, but now you have options. Capcom is trying to even the scale of risk and reward. The scale should always be person on offense when they have the opponent in the corner. It should always be in their favor because they should be rewarded for getting in the corner, but it's not as crazy where it's like, man, you're in a really bad situation, you know, Jamie, no drinks, no meter kind of situation. So yeah, this is a really good change, but there's a very obvious concern because Mir and I have seen people suggest this before. One concern, especially that Mir brought up, is how does the game know that who's the person who's on defense, right? How does the game know who deserves the meter? And from a programming standpoint, it's going to be whoever tech the throw, whoever threw second, right? So the problem is that there's going to be weird situations now where the person on offense is going to gain the meter, and there's definitely ways that you can manipulate. So I'm going to show you an example that's already in this footage at the very start of this match. Check this out. So we'll see Elena get a knockdown, okay? So this Elena is gonna walk up to her and she's gonna throw her, okay? So she's walking up to throw, but look at the meter. So the person walking up to throw has 1 bar less, right? She walks up, look, she gained the meter. The person on offense gained the bar. Oh no! But she was the one that walked in to press throw. But the CPU pressed throw first because she was walking in. And this situation, I think, is going to happen a lot, like in a real match. That's one of the concerns that like Mir brought up, like, oh, maybe this change might not be a good idea because now we're going to have different issues with this. And there's a lot of people talking about it. It's definitely something that I'm sure Capcom has considered. So I'll show you guys like some examples of this, of how this would happen too, besides like the example I just showed you guys. Chun-Li, for example, let's say like some characters get rid of their throw loops, or a Chun-Li. Like on a pseudo throw loop, Chun-Li is gonna walk in, and since I'm walking into throw, the Ed player is gonna mash throw on wake up here, right? So Chun-Li would get the bar here in this situation because I'm pressing throw second. So that'd be like one example of how this change might backfire. Another situation would be like, okay, here's another example. Let's say I knock down the opponent and they wake up and I'm scared they might do a reversal. So on offense, I do a delay tech. Well, if I do a delay tech, then I get the bar. The person on offense gets the bar and they defend themselves against the wake up super and reversal at the same time. So you can look at this in 2 ways. 1, this is gonna be a disaster, or 2, This is big brain. And you're like, oh, it's going to add a new meta to the game. I don't know. I don't know how you guys feel about this. I don't know how I feel about this right now. There's a lot to take in. And there's already like a few examples in my head of how the person on offense might get away with more meter now doing this. This is such a common scenario too. Very common scenario. Let's see. Another example. I'll give you guys another one. Let's say Ed did Snatcher here. Like he did Charge Snatcher. And he's afraid the opponent is going to mash like, you know, reversal. Well, if I do Snatcher and I do Delay Tech like this, once again, Ed would gain the bar here because he's pressing throw second. So because there's Delay Tech, there's going to be a lot of situations where the person on offense, quote unquote offense, will gain the meter instead. Remember, it's not just drive meter they gain super meter too. So basically, the person who has the player who has frame advantage can dictate who gains the meter because of this. So that same drive rush cancel I gave you guys, this example, where you do your crouching medium kick drive rush, do this, delay tech, and then you'll gain 1 bar back from your 3 bars you spent on this cancel. So before, I'm not trying to make everyone panic right now. I'm just trying to like look at this change from every angle. We still don't have the entire like patch notes, obviously. We don't even know if this Elena build that we're watching is the final build, but it is very likely that this change is going to be in season 3. So I'm just trying to like look at this from every single angle. I think more times than not, the person who is defending will gain that bar back. Because I'm sure Capcom's tested this. They had to have. But it definitely can be manipulated, for sure. Or should it be the trigger in the corner only? I don't know. From a programming standpoint, I don't know, man, if it can work that way. Obviously, we need to test this ourselves. So that's why a lot of people are discussing it right now. Like, what happens if both players walk up to each other and throw at the same time? You know what I mean? Like, who gets the bar back? You know, it's gonna be, there's weird scenarios like that like we need to know. Because usually when someone walks up to you, you know what I mean? It's completely random who's gonna press throw first because you don't know the exact range. And like I mentioned before, guys, players take throws mid-screen as well, especially because crouching medium kick drive rush into light tick throw is very, very common. Bester, this is starting to not sound like a very good change. I'm not trying to make you guys like panic or go full doom mode. I'm just like, you can look at this in another way too. There's another mind game you can do. So let's say that this becomes the meta. This is true, where players they're knocking down the opponent, okay? And they know that they're going to do a delay tech and try to gain that bar back. Now, what the defender might do is wake up jab, right? Because since you know the person on offense is going to delay that throw, now the defender takes their turn because they're delaying. And now we might get this new mind game of like, wake up jab meta, you know? Wake up and attack to make sure. So I guess that's like one way of looking at it too. Super greed mind games. It's possible, right? Same thing in this situation. Like you go in, drive rush cancel like this. And then they know that you're going to go for the throw. So instead they mash jab. See? And then they take their turn back, even though technically you're plus. I don't know. How do you guys feel about this? Bro, when I saw the CPU walk forward, when I saw her walk forward and I saw her gain her meter back, I'm not gonna lie, a cold shiver went down my spine. For example, bro, what if like Rashid does level 2? Right? Because you're forced in a situation where you have to tech throw 2 times against Rashid. Rashid walks forward, and then he gets the 1 bar back, and then he walks forward and gets the 1 bar back again, dude. And he's got full drive meter, bro. With this level 2, man, there is so many things, guys. Like, the gears are turning. What if JP does his level 2, right? And then he walks in front of you while the ghosts are going by. And then he does delay tech on purpose. And then JP gets the meter back. Oh no, guys, I'm dooming, guys. I'm sorry. I just want to know, man. Capcom, just give us the notes. The thing is like, this heavily implies that Capcom is going to keep throw loops. And they're still trying to figure out ways around it. With Season 2, they added wake up drive reversal to go after throw loops. It still was not enough. They tried nerfing back throws, perfect parry back throws, and making sure you can't throw loop from back throws. It's still not enough. Now Capcom is trying to add reward for teching throws to try to even the scales, but this change can be manipulated. So yeah, I don't know, like obviously guys, I don't know for sure if they're not removing throw loops. Maybe they will remove throw loops. Maybe they will remove throws for certain characters. I don't know. All we know is that Elena doesn't have throw loops. There's a lot of system changes that we still have not discovered yet, because we only get like CPU footage and Elena versus Elena mirror matches. There's a lot to take in here, but this will definitely change the game. On top of the perfect parry changes we already know. I think the problem is like, it's clear that Capcom wants to reward the defender, not the person on offense. This game is already offensive enough, but there's ways that the person on offense can gain meter. There are some characters where it's just probably going to be impossible to get rid of throw loops, like DJ. Like DJ has like almost full screen instant drive rush, and he's so much frame advantage on the throw in the corner. So like maybe Capcom's like, maybe we can't do it this way, where we give everyone pseudo throw loops. So maybe the only way is they have to work around it, because like they got rid of throw loops in Street Fighter V, but Street Fighter V did not have drive rush. Drive rush changes everything. In order to give a certain amount of frame advantage where you can't get a throw off drive rush is hard, unless they want throw loops to remain but only with drive rush. That's another alternative they can do as well. The funny thing too is that by nerfing perfect parry, they're making the game even more offensive, right? Well, as far as we know, they're nerfing perfect parry with those changes. So having that plus throw loops, man. Damn, things are heating up next season.